Okay, in this video, I want to talk about unconditional love. And this is probably going to be more than one video because the concept is pretty damn vast. And I have two dreams that I want to, well, one, I don't know if it was necessarily a dream, but two experiences that kind of shed light on why I believe what I believe. So these are my personal experiences that happened to me that allow me to remember what unconditional love is or how I'm unconditionally loved or that I don't have to fear God or have to be in any type of fear. These are experiences that um, God allowed me to have so that I wouldn't need a book, you understand? So that I wouldn't need someone else's opinion. Um, so I want to share those before I get into anything else. But of course, there are scriptures that go with this and religious truths and stuff like that that go with it. And of course, my some of my favorite research is near death experiences, people who have died and gone to the other side. And it was very, very encouraging to hear one of the experiences that they all, well, not all, but the majority of them would have when they experienced unconditional love the way it felt. It was that is crazy. It was like for the first time having somebody who went through the same thing I went through. And I didn't die, you know what I mean? But I felt what they, it's like when you're trying to explain something, but you know people can't relate to it because they haven't experienced it, so that you can't really put words to it. You can only get close. But somebody who's experienced it, even them trying to get close, it's like, yeah, 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 exactly, exactly. So it was really encouraging hearing somebody else say it and more than one person. So I know I wasn't going batshit. You know, I know I wasn't going crazy, and I knew that it wasn't something that was just individual. All right, so that is the second experience I'll talk about. But the first experience, that there was a time when I was dating this. I don't know if we were dating at the time, but we were like on and off for years, and it was like situation after situation of basically me doing things that hurt her over and over and over again. And each situation, well, maybe before it was kind of harder for her to move past it, but it became so easy. Like it became forgiveness was instant, instant, and love was literally unconditional. And at the time, I didn't see that, and I didn't understand it, and neither did she really. But she would say to me, "I can't hate you because I see." She was like, "I know how God sees you." She was like, "I understand." She was like, "I can feel His heart for you. I can feel it," and I know exactly what she means by that. You know, it's like when you see somebody suffering, it's that compassion that comes out. That's the guy, man. That's the guy. That's I've never really thought about it that way with the compassion, but it always says how Christ would see somebody be moved with compassion. But that's exactly what it feels like. It's like immense compassion. It's like almost like looking at a child. It's like you don't know any better. I love the crap out of you. But basically, what she was saying that's why she couldn't hate me. And so one day I had this dream. I was asleep, and this was at a time when she was really really going through it, and it was crazy because I was the one putting her through it, but she was kind of like clinging to me also to help her get through it. It was a really weird type of relationship. Um, so one day, like I said, I'm having this dream, and I come in. It was like the personality of Lucigan comes in, almost becomes aware in the dream, I guess, and having a conversation with God, and we're like ending the conversation. I'm like, wait, one more thing, not Olusegun, but the other voice that's speaking that sounds like me is speaking to God, and is like, oh, one more thing, what's going on with so and so right now? Like, why is everything, when I said that I meant was, why is everything so hard right now? Why is she going through such a crushing? Why is, like, what is this torment or this hardship about? And he says to me, and oh my God, I love it. I just love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And I'm trying not to cry. But he says to me, so and so wants to become mature. So it's like, so he says so and so, it's so synonymous now. I can't even remember exactly which words he put where, but it was basically like so and so wants to become love or mature. It was one of the two. And so and it was like, because he was using them intertwiningly. So it was like, so and so wants to become love, so I'm crushing her to make her mature, because maturity equals love. That's what he said. And I was like, wow. In the dream, it forget the fact that he says the experiences that me and her are having are is him making her what she's asked to become. Forget that whole part. I didn't even realize that until like a couple months ago. This dream happened years ago. Uh, so it's like, forget that part. I forgot all about that. Didn't even think about that at the time because it wasn't the way I was looking at things. He said love equaled maturity. And in the dream, for some reason, that was a great awakening. It was like, whoa, like this makes everything make sense. And at the time, it really didn't. It really didn't. And so it's like when I got that revelation, I felt like this energy enter my stomach and well up in me as if it was like about to blow my head off. This is happening like 3 times. It's overwhelming energy that feels like I'm about to explode and that this is the end of my life, but it feels amazing. That's how it feels. It's like more than orgasmic. It's as if you could ever have an orgasm that make you feel like your body was about to blow up, that's what this felt like. It's just too intense, not sexual really, but that great of a feeling, like joy or something. I don't know, but it just wells up and it's like too much to take, and I feel like I'm about to die, like blow up. So I woke up out of the dream and I sat up on the edge of my bed. I'm like, wow, maturity equals love. Maturity equals love. Maturity equals love. Maturity equals love. Like love and maturity are the exact same thing. And at that time, it was so much more significant is because I was realizing the Hebrew and the Greek words for perfection were maturity. Completion and perfection means maturity, maturation. So that's love. Then come to find out that quantum scientists or quantum physicists or whatever realize that that's what consciousness does. It goes from a state of disorder and chaos or fear to a state of order and love. What they would call love, but not the emotional love. Something different. It's unconditional love. It's what we actually are as a being. We are that unconditional love. And this flesh or the fear that we learn here puts the veil over that. Uh, so yeah, that. Yeah. So I wake up and I say that over to myself, and I'm like, man, I should write this down. But I'm like, nah, I should remember that. It's very easy to remember. But see, the thing about encounters with God is they happen in a realm that's synonymous to like dreams. And when you wake up in the morning, you forget your dreams. Or sometimes you'll have an emotion that lingers from the dream that makes the dream seem real. But then a couple minutes later, when you get back into this realm, the dream fades. The emotions, the realness, the experience that you have, it becomes just the dream. And that's what happens when you have those experiences with God. You have that experience, you're in a realm that's synonymous to dream. So it's very real there, very detailed. You're very caught up in it. But when you return back to this three-dimensional realm that we exist in as physical beings, you wonder to yourself, was it even real? That's what happened to me. When I woke up, it was gone. I couldn't not all I could remember was maturity equals something. And everybody kept telling me perfection, completion, because that's what we were learning at that time about the Hebrew and the Greek words for perfection and completion, that they were synonymous with maturity. And I'm like, no, it was something that I didn't know. And it wasn't until reading, I think it's First Corinthians chapter 13, I was going through that and I was reading that and I saw the comparisons. You can have the gifts and no love. You can you see in part, you prophesy in part, all these things in part, but then when that which is perfect comes, all that other stuff is thrown away. So no love and doing mysteries is synonymous with being in part. And in comparison to perfection, being a child and being a man, same thing. Not knowing and knowing as you are known, also comparison. So you see these comparisons. Everything on this side is the opposite of love. Everything that is in comparison is love. So knowing as you are known, doing the wonders with love, and then at the bottom being a man, or knowing as you are known, seeing your face completely in the mirror, all those things are synonymous with love. But I have to continue this in the next video because we're wrapping it up now. 10 minutes. All right, see you in the next one.